We are reacting to what if Rengoku fought Tengen, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just be reacting to it, I'm gonna put my sense of intuition into it as well. So we're gonna see what he has to say. I don't know what happens, you know, I don't know what he says, but let's do it. What if Rengoku fought Tengen Uzui?
Figure out who is stronger. It is much more difficult and up to debate and speculation as opposed to the antagonists in the story with the 12 Kizuki, who are all literally ranked in order of strength. So although it can be fun sometimes to talk about theories about the demons, it's still pretty straightforward when it comes to them. However though, this isn't the case with the 9 Hashira, allowing that room for discussion, and today I wanted to look at Kyojo Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, and Tengen Uzui, the Sound Hashira, to see who would win in a one-on-one.
Okay, now some people say Rengoku wins, some people say Tengen wins, but I want us to all agree that they are bottom 3 Hashira. My bottom 3, I'm not gonna say as a bottom 3 Hashira because I don't want to spoil my opinion because you're gonna see it in a minute, but I mean, Tengen, Rengoku, and Shinobu are bottom 3 Hashira.
Fights. And let's get started. Okay, so first we have to look at Rengoku's battle feats. So he really is not shown much in the story, not gonna lie. So it's kind of tough, as I said earlier with the Hashira, it's tough with these guys. But Rengoku, we see him not only taking on Akaza, but even before that, there's an extra chapter where he takes on Haido. But Haido is a lower rank of the 12 Kizuki, so it doesn't say much. Just wanted to mention that as a battle.
Whoa, I didn't know he fought a lower moon. He fought a lower moon and the lower moon got him like that? Yo! Hey.
Feat that Rengoku does have in there. But aside from that, the main one that we all know is going up against Enmu, where necessarily he doesn't attack Enmu, he just fends off against the tentacles in the train, doing like an OP job and like rushing through the whole train.
That scene was beautiful. That scene was beautiful.
Taking down like cart after cart these tentacles, saving the passengers. But when he takes on Akaza, this is mainly what shows his strength, where throughout this fight, Akaza praises him multiple times. I mean, he recognizes him as a strong enough warrior that he wanted him to change his ways and become a demon just because he recognized his strength. With that being said, that isn't to be confused with Akaza being scared or thinking he was going to lose at all, with him not even having that much competition in this fight. Akaza easily won against Rengoku, and the only reason we see him semi-struggle at the end with the sun coming up is sincerely just because the author had to make it semi-suspenseful, but it was very prevalent throughout this whole fight that Akaza was pretty much clowning on Rengoku and not giving it nearly his full effort. I've said before, I think Akaza puts in about like 50% of his strength in this fight against Rengoku.
Okay, so some people like to get things twisted and confusion, you feel me? Some people be like, oh, Rengoku took on Upper Moon 3, fought relatively to Upper Moon 3, and why he's top 6 Hashira. What the fuck? What are you talking about? You feel me? Akaza, like he was saying, I'm gonna go off what he was saying. Akaza was not trying in that fight, you know what I'm saying? He was just playing around. He really was trying to recruit Rengoku as a demon, you know what I'm saying, doing non-lethal blows him and try to keep him alive. It's like, don't die yet, Kyojo, saying don't die yet, trying to keep him alive so he could change his mind. Akaza's obviously not going in for the killing blow, so obviously it's going to be a fight, obviously it's going to last. But if Akaza wanted to kill him off the bat, the fight would have been done in under a minute, you know what I'm saying? Some people misunderstand that Akaza was not trying in this fight, and that's the only reason why there was a fight was because Akaza allowed a fight, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
And also the reason I come to this conclusion is that later on in the story, we see Akaza take on Giyu and Tanjiro, where he unleashes a lot more abilities and definitely shows off a lot more strength and new techniques that we didn't see him having to be pushed to and use against Rengoku. So it's very much implied and pretty explicit that he nowhere near was going full out against Rengoku. So this is the really tough thing about Rengoku's battle feats, is because he loses, he contends like 50% with upper rank 3 Akaza, but at the end of the day he loses, so there's no like concrete understanding. Where if we look at Tengen Uzui's battle feats, he kind of has a similar problem too, where he contends and he fights with upper rank 6 Gyutaro.
Now here's the difference between Rengoku and Tengen fighting. Rengoku is fighting a demon that's not trying to kill him. Tengen is fighting a demon that is trying to kill him, trying to end his life. But on top of that, you know, Akaza Upper Moon 3, Gyutaro is upper moon 6.
But he doesn't beat him, and the only reason that they all come out victorious in the end anyway is because he had to have the help of multiple other Demon Slayers, with that being Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. But let me back up a little. So we see Tengen Uzui at the start of the Entertainment District arc. When he encounters Daki, he immediately chops off her head. Like, this was effortless, and this is what eventually made Daki summon out Gyutaro out of her own body, because she was getting clapped by Tengen. So even though this does sound
Yo, can we pause for a minute and talk about how sexy this nigga voice?
like a cool feat, it also doesn't tell us much, because as it's stated by Muzan in the story, Daki was never recognized as an upper rank of the 12 Kizuki, and the only reason that she had that position is because Gyutaro was infused into her own body, and they were both like just like one package, you know what I mean, where they both inhabited kind of like the same space where they wouldn't be separated. I mean, Muzan says even at the end that Daki was a hindrance to Gyutaro, and if Gyutaro was just soloing one-on-one in that fight, he would have beaten Tengen, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, which is a really interesting statement, because you would think that if you have two people, you would obviously think that that would be stronger inherently. I mean, the more the merrier, you know what I mean? And Daki fended off both Inosuke and Zenitsu for the majority of the fight. So it is weird to think that Gyutaro would technically be stronger with this statement by Muzan, but regardless. So we see this from Tengen, but when he goes one-on-one with Gyutaro, again, he gets clapped up, he gets his arm chopped off, and he's literally about to die, but he had to fake his death just so he wouldn't get immediately finished off by Gyutaro.
Okay, what he said was semi-right. The reason why Tengen faked his death was because he had to stop his heart because the poison was going to get to him. Not necessarily because Gyutaro was absolutely destroying him, because later we see in the fight that Tengen contends with him with one arm, you know what I'm saying, and with poison, you know what I'm saying. But the reason why he faked his own death was not because Gyutaro was overwhelming him, what he was, but not him himself, but the poison was getting to him, and he had to stop his heart and fake his own death.
By stopping his heart, so then he could come back later in the fight, and then with Tanjiro, successfully cut off his head. But again, that's a very big emphasis on Tanjiro here, because if it wasn't for him, Tengen would stand no chance. So battle feats wise, Rengoku and Tengen are still in like this really weird gray area, where they don't have any concrete feats that tell us much, but I'm not...
Now, my say on that is that Tengen has way more concrete feats than Rengoku, not only because of the fights, but there's a big difference between when an upper moon is trying to kill you and when an upper moon is battling you for fun. You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna lie, I'm leaning more towards Rengoku when it comes to straight feats, because
I'm gonna lean more towards Tengen.
Goku did contend with Akaza, even though I don't think he gave him that big of a competition. He did contend with upper rank 3.
He contended because Akaza wasn't trying. That's the whole point. That's the whole picture we're painting here, because you know later on in the fight, some people like to say Rengoku's about to cut off Akaza's head right here. If you read the manga, you know Akaza can regrow his head if he doesn't get his memories back, and Rengoku was nowhere near close to figuring out his compass needle ability. But like I was saying, I just feel like when you're fighting upper moon that's not trying, you're going to last long. You're going to get feet to him because he's not trying to kill you. He's trying to hurt you, but he's not trying to kill you. And there's between when Tengen's fighting Gyutaro, he's actually trying to kill him. Because I feel like, basically what I feel like is that if Rengoku were to fight Gyutaro, Rengoku would be packed up too.
Tengen, we only see
because he has no poison
with upper rank
resistance.
6, so I have to lean just a little more towards Rengoku. But if we get into the abilities of both of them, this is when we could come to the conclusion a little bit better. So Rengoku is a flame breathing user, where flame breathing specializes in quick, very straightforward and strong strikes. Nothing too complicated, nothing too flashy, kind of like the dead opposite of Tengen Uzui's sound breathing. It's just a slash of the sword to get the job done. But he's shown using offensive techniques, of course, as well as defensive techniques when he defends against the shockwaves from Akaza. But I'm not gonna lie, I think Tengen Uzui's abilities slightly are better, because Rengoku kind of only has flame breathing going for him.
Now, what he's saying is correct. I'm saying is correct, but I'll let him finish.
He doesn't have any other like unique things here and there, which necessarily I'm not saying that he needs, but Tengen, on the other hand, has sound breathing, which, and if you guys didn't know, the whole thing with sound breathing, the way that it works is that Tengen carries around these little mini bombs where the reason there's all these big explosions is because to do extra impact, he throws out these mini anti-demon bombs and slashes them with his sword to attack and deal a stronger blow in a bigger radius, which kind of sounds overpowered, especially if we're going up against someone who's just a human and only has a katana blade on their hands. So I would find it like tough. Like Rengoku would be pressed to defend against some of these bomb attacks. I couldn't imagine him contending against that fairly easily. And then also Tengen Uzui has his musical score technique, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't think tells us much, because this is kind of just like his inner world.
Oh, it's also stated that Tengen's battle IQ is on a whole nother level. Like I can find a screenshot if you want me to. I'll put it up on the screen, but Tengen's battle IQ was off the charts.
Workings of his
and as you guys can see, I'm leaning more towards Tengen because I already have my
brain, where he can predict attacks better by translating them to like musical notes and whatnot like that. Where I feel like every fighter kind of has this like inner workings and prediction mode. So I don't know if this is that important, but the main thing that I think puts Tengen a little bit above is his speed, where Tengen Uzui is regarded as one of the fastest Hashira, only under like characters like Shinobu, where she has like really big feats going up against Doma, where Doma says she's the fastest Hashira he's ever seen. But Tengen, being a previous shinobi, obviously has his own speed in his own rights. But again, though, the counter argument is that all the Hashira really seem to be relative on the level of speed here. You know what I mean? So I don't think Tengen can like blitz Rengoku by any means.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna blitz him. I think
Rengoku is very much well versed.
But I would put, Tengen's speed faster.
Speed to not get destroyed that easily. So taking all these things into factor, the abilities, the battle feats, at the end of the day, this is the toughest ranking I've actually ever had to do because it's so close.
Now it is a close fight, and if we're ranking the Hashira, I feel like this is the most debatable between the two. You feel me?
Leaning towards Rengoku, though. I'm leaning towards.
Thought he was about to hit, but he missed.
Rengoku. So Tengen kind of has like a little bit more abilities that you could say he leans more towards, and you could give him the upper hand there. But I think Rengoku's battle feats are just too important to not like take it full into factor, where he goes up against someone as great as Akaza, when Tengen kind of just like gets destroyed by Gyutaro, which, don't get me wrong, like Gyutaro is extremely strong, but in the face of Akaza, come on, he can't light a candle. So I think
now he's comparing Akaza and Gyutaro, but there's a difference. I could understand if Rengoku fought a trying Akaza, but he's not trying. So any feat that Rengoku has, he's not really fighting Upper Moon 3 the full extent of. He's not feeling the Upper Moon 3. He's just playing around, keeping him alive and trying to recruit him to become a demon. That's different from Tengen, who's fighting a demon who's literally trying to kill this nigga. He's mad, he's pissed off because of his little sister. He's mad, he's angry, he's trying to actually kill the nigga. And it would be different if Rengoku fought a Upper Moon 3 and who was actually trying. But Akaza was playing most of the fight, trying to recruit him to become a demon.
Just leaning towards more Rengoku. If I had to put a number, it's still very close though. I'm saying Rengoku wins 60% of the time, and Tengen wins 40% of the time. So still very close. But at the end of the day, I gotta lean and give Rengoku the W. But let me know what you guys think.
So here's my whole stake on it. Here's my whole, my platter. You feel me? When Rengoku is fighting, like I was saying before, he wasn't fighting, he was fighting a non-trying demon. But on top of that, you gotta look at some of the side feats, like when Tengen was saying, I can never be like Rengoku, he was talking about in terms of like saying people being around him. But after that, Rengoku was like, my sword technique can never be like yours. Meaning that, he said something like that. He didn't say exactly like that, but he said something like that. That means that Tengen has better sword skill. And like he was saying before, Tengen has more abilities, and he actually fought an Upper Moon that's trying to kill him and take his life. And on top of that, he's more physically stronger from the Hashira ranking of strength. Now the speed, I'm not going off the speed because the speed is talking about traveling distance. You know what I'm saying? How fast you travel, it's not ranking the Hashira and how fast how they are in combat speed. But that's why I'm thinking that Tengen is actually going to take that fight, because like I said, Akaza wasn't trying to like look at this man. Look at him right now. Come on, bitch. You feel me? And I just feel like the last feat that he has, on Akaza where he's like cutting his head off. Obviously, I did that so Rengoku can have his moment to make some suspense, like he was saying. So that's where I agree on more. But I don't see Rengoku winning this fight, and that's why I put Rengoku as the weakest Hashira, because he doesn't have any feats against an actual upper moon that actually is trying to take his life. There's a difference between someone trying to take your life and someone not trying to take your life, and that's my whole take on Tengen versus Rengoku. But I got Tengen coming on top, high diff. It's still a good fight, but I'm saying Tengen coming out high diff. You feel me? More abilities, better sword technique, physically stronger than him. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see Rengoku coming out on top. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, if y'all want more Demon Slayer content, you want videos for me to react to, comment down below in the comment section, man. I love y'all, man. I'm gone.